Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where I take a look at early open or closed betas, subscription trials, and simpler titles, giving you a quick first impression. Today I'll be looking at Maelstrom, an indie multiplayer ship combat arena battle royale game that proves you can have the concept without being parachuted onto an island to scrounge for multicolored guns. Currently in an early access release, Maelstrom is still early in development, but definitely looks a lot more polished than the usual fare in this state. A special thank you goes out to a Tofu who mentioned this game in my comment section of the Radical Heights Sidequest several months ago, and despite the fact I'm out $20 for the game, I'll say I'm still pleased with the suggestion, but I'll go over exactly why I am right now, as well as what my concerns are. Let's get into this. Sitting somewhere in the middle of high fantasy and realism, Maelstrom does its best work in water effects. It's no Sea of Thieves in that regard, but it handles the feel very well with its waves and sea foam effects, as well as the general look and flow of the water overall. What really stands out are the designs of the ships themselves, in rather intriguing ways. While the human race's ships are the most ship-like in terms of Age of Sail design philosophy, more attention to that design reveals a medieval castle architecture on their decks. Dwarven ships are garish and mechanical, gold-trimmed and covered in steampunk design elements with smoking engines and train-like paddle propulsion. Orcish ships have the most amusing design by being overly armored and spiked, barely able to float or sail, but being pulled around by massive sharks chained to the bow. This also helps quickly identify what ship that you're coming up against in battle. Sound work does what it needs. It's one of the few Battle Royale games with actual music in it, though it's not extremely overpowering and just acts more atmospheric, but it's definitely there. Cannons sound appropriately punchy, but nowhere near as boomy as they could be. Some more bass could really help out here, but you won't have trouble knowing if someone is firing on you or being fired upon. While Battle Royale is the new hotness that seems to have made most of the gaming market forget the term elimination deathmatch used to exist, it's really the latter term that better describes Maelstrom, as the matches only consist of 12 players at a time. However, there's plenty of current Battle Royale cues being taken here still. The shrinking circle once again makes an appearance, this time represented by encroaching black water inhabited by horrifying monsters. Let yourself sail into the darkness for too long and you'll literally be swallowed up by one of these creatures. Instead of scrounging for newer and better weaponry, you'll find small ships sailing around you that you can destroy for power upgrades, or just take those upgrades off of recently sank opponents. Control is standard in naval combat. You have 4 facings: bow, stern, port, and starboard, with cannons that can be mounted anywhere from 2 to 4 sides. Once you've lined a cannon-equipped side of your ship up with your target, you can unleash a cannonball salvo downrange to hopefully connect with your target's broadside. You can even choose which ammo type to fire and better damage opponents' health and armor, speed, or their crew. Choosing best how to whittle down an opponent's armor, crew, and health is key to victory, as much as knowing how to take out each individual ship. A Cinder relies on speed, but blasting away its sails with chain shot will leave it a sluggish and low-armored target, easily torn apart by good barrages. A Storm Anchor is sturdy and lumbering on its own, and its lack of sails makes chain shot useless against it, but decimating its crew with grape shot and boarding actions can destroy it completely without putting a dent in its armor. Knowing what your ship does best, as well as how that will play against other ships, is key to victory, not just how many upgrades you find. This is why I much prefer this game over a lot of Battle Royale games. It's how well you know the game and those ships, not whether or not you found some super quality gun in a chest early on. It's taken me a good while to get this out, but I don't think anyone plays this anymore. Having an early access price tag, no marketing whatsoever, and a general low interest in such a genre departure has the player base completely empty at the moment. Most of my footage I've gathered were queued as solo matches that ended up being bot matches anyway, as no one bothered to enter the game before the timer finished searching. Playing months ago did see at least quite a few people playing in these matches, where players spent most of the time shit-talking each other in solo mode, but if you were to play now, you're likely just not going to see anyone. The devs are somewhat silent on this topic. They haven't made an official announcement about anything since November of 2018. They'll occasionally chime into Steam threads if a player starts calling their game dead, and have an occasionally active Discord where messages will pop up every few days or so. But no one is playing, and it's not a good look. They seem confident that people will return with their new update, an update that, while adding an entirely new undead ship line, has no timetable, roadmap, or anything to restore confidence in its rapidly deteriorating player base, besides the tired and true #soon. It's a pity because I don't want this to fail. I really enjoy the way the game plays, and even had about the most fun I could have with a multiplayer-focused game. I was able to hold my own in solo matches, and even win a few of them, when live players were still a thing, and Dresker and I would destroy these matches in duos. But now, even with the current lack of players, mechanics of the bots in general I still find enjoyable enough to jump into and just play around with new strategies every now and again. Will there be an update that'll bring about a player resurgence? I don't know, but hopefully they find a way to get the word out and players start gaining some semblance of interest, because right now, the wind is definitely at everyone's sails. And with games like Apex Legends and Fortnite being free, having a price tag can't be helping them out either. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.